again, my little yarnivores and spiderets. Fiber Spider back again with a continuation, part 3 of the Virus Meets Granny Kaleidoscope blanket. Yes, thank you ever so much for joining today, and a big thank you to Lion Brand for sponsoring this video series. Thank you to all. And we are on row 7 of our first tier of triangles. We got this far at the end of the last part. Well, we're going to see what we can do about finishing this tier today. Okay, so we ended the last row with a slip stitch, joining it to the eyelet, and now we have to continue on our merry little way, right? So that being said, going to chain 3 and then slip stitch into the next eyelet and turn the work. And every time I do this, it becomes more arduous, but I'm a trooper. Okay, here we go. All right, so from here, going to quite simply just do double crochets into each double crochet and continue on with the sort of lattice work right in there. So let's get to it. All right, so 10 doubles, just 1 in each. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 more makes 10. There we are. Anchor it down with a single in the next chain 4 space. Boop. Okay, scoot your work over. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet in the next chain 4 space. And we've reached our 2 sets of 10s. So 10 doubles in here, 10 doubles in here, total of 20 across. So again, be sure not to go into this single crochet, but into the actual double crochet. You don't want to mess up your count. So I got 2 already. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then another 10. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and I gotta pull up more yarn. There we go. And 20. There. Okay. Anchor it down in the chain space with a single. Chain 4. And scoot your work. Okay. Single in the next space. Okay, and then 10 doubles across this fan of stitches here. Again, careful not to go in that single, going into the double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, anchor this one down into the next chain space. Well, it's not a chain space, but the next eyelet. Anchor it down with a slip stitch. And there we go. That is the end of row 7. Okay, row 8 is another one of those weird ones because we're going to have to compensate further down, just like we did here. So, going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the next eyelet, and do it again. Chain 3, slip stitch into the next eyelet, and now we get to turn our work. Get my tail out of the way there, pardon me. Okay, we good? Almost. Okay, now I think we're good. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so we have to get back to this space right here. So chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, slip stitch right in there. Okay, we are back to where we need to be. All right, so this row is going to be double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces. So double into this first double, chain 1, double in the next, chain 1, double in the next, and so on and so forth. For all the doubles, just double in them and then chain 1 in between. Okay, so do my double, chain 1, double in the next, chain 1, double, 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 chain 1, and this should be 10. So what do we got going on here? 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Perfect. Okay. Then anchor it down. Wait, no, this one we do not anchor down because we're going to be going directly from this spot over to the next double. So do not add any chains. We just did our 10 doubles with chain spaces in between, going directly from here, skipping this chain 4 space, going into the next double on this side with a double. Okay, chain 1, double in the next, chain 1, double in the next, and so on and so forth for these 20 doubles in total. And this is the second series. We're going to be doing one more, actually, one more repetition for this triangle. And And after I'm done with this triangle, well, I am going to be done with all 4 of the triangles for this tier. Well, yeah, you're going to have to do the remainder of the 3. But it is the exact same process each time. And of course, you can go back and review the footage. Timestamps, as per usual, will be in the description box, so not to worry. And at the end of this, I should have a total of 20 fanned out by chain 1 spaces. And we're getting there. And I already need to pull out some more yarn. It happens. There we go. Okay, let's keep at it. How many do I already have? Got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Oh, just 2 more. Okay. Chain 1 and double. Chain 1 and double. Okay, so scooting from here to the next grouping of 10. So again, do not go into this single, but into the double directly, skipping over that chain 4 space that we did. Chain 1, double in the next, and this is going to be a series of 10. So that's 2, 3, chain 1, 4, chain 1, 5, chain 1, 6, chain 1, 7, chain 1, 8, chain 1, 9, chain 1, and 10. If I can get in there. There we go. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Awesome. Okay, from here, slip stitch into the next eyelet. And there you are. That is the end of row 8. So we are most certainly making some awesome sauce progress right here. Okay, row 9. This is where we're going to incorporate new loops, the chain 7 loops, as well as the chain 4 loops. So going to chain 3 and slip stitch into the next eyelet and turn the work. And get myself situated as per usual. You know how I am. You know, if I had a professional camera set up with like an aerial camera and, booms and those umbrella lights or whatever you call them, this would be a different story. But hey, I'm a simple spider. All right, so from here, going to chain 7 for the big loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then into the second chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 4, skip a space, single crochet, chain 4, skip a space, and single crochet, scooch, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space, and single crochet. All right, now need to do a chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So skipping you, and you, going into the next one so that we've got symmetry, single crochet. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single crochet. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single. So we've got our chain 7, 3 chain 4s, a chain 7, 3 chain 4s, and since we are at the top here, well, we need 2 chain 7s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip a space, single in the next, chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip a space, single in the next, then series of 3 chain 4 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single. Okay, and scooch. Time for another chain 7 loop because we have to skip, skip, skip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip, 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 going into this loop right here with a single. Then we need 3 chain 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space and single. And now we just have to do our chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then scooting into our cream colored yarn and slip stitch into there. Again, I just think it looks a lot neater if we go about it that way. And, well, that is the end of row 9. Okay, row 10, we're going to have to fill in our chain 7 loops with 10 doubles each. Well, we're going to have to get there first. So, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, going into the next eyelet with a slip stitch. And see, we're almost to the corner, almost, but not quite. So at this point, got to turn the work. And like I said, we're going to be working 10 doubles into each of these chain 7 loops, and then do our lattice work in between. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Anchor it down with a single in the chain 4 space, chain 4, single into the next space, chain 4, single in the next space, oops, almost had it, single in the next space, thank you, and then another 10 doubles in the next chain 7 loop. It's 1, 2, yarn's getting tangled on me. Okay, I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this should be 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay. Then anchor it down with a single in the next chain 4 loop, chain 4, single in the next space, chain 4, single in the next space, and we have reached our chain 7 loops again. So that's going to be 10 in each for a total of 20. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 in the next chain 7 loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hang on. How many? Was that 8 or was that 7 finished? 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Whoop. And I just undid one. So I have 7. 8, 9, and this should be 10. Yes? No? Maybe? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, that's what I like to see. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so from here, anchor this down with a single in the next chain space, chain 4, single in the next space, chain 4, single in the next space, and it's time for 10 more in that chain 7 loop. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good. I always think it's good to get in the habit of double counting, you know? All right, from here, single in the chain space, chain 4, single in the next chain space, chain 4, single in the next chain space, and 10 into the chain 7 space. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and should be 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, then going to anchor it down into place in the next eyelet over with a slip stitch. Ta-da! And that is the end of row 10. Okay, row 11. Chain up 3. And slip stitch into the corner eyelet. There we are. And then turn your work. We're getting there. That we are. And even though we're going into the corner eyelet, this is not the last row of the tier. No, because we need to give it some height. Otherwise, it's going to end up buckling prematurely, and we don't want that to happen. So this is the second to last row. So we're going to be doing a double crochet into each, continue on with the lattice work, and let's get to it. So I'm going to start off with 10 doubles. Already got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nope, almost. 10. Thank you. Scoot the work along. Okay. Anchor it down with a single crochet into the next chain 4 space. Single, chain 4, single in the next space. Okay, 10 doubles, 1 in each. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Scooch. Single crochet into the chain 4 space. Single. 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. Single into the next space. Then we've got, well, a double in each. That's 20 double crochets all the way across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 more. That's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And scoot your work. Okay, single crochet into the next chain space, single, chain 4, single into the next space, and 10 doubles across this arch. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And scooch. Anchor it down with a single in the next chain space, chain 4, single in the next space, anchor that, and then 10 more doubles, 1 in each. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now I could go in here for 10, and yeah, actually I am going to, excuse me. What I was thinking of, that actually comes in a bit. Okay, so this is the 10, correct? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes, okay, and then, yes, going to anchor it down into that corner space of our granny. So yes, and slip stitch. There we go. And that is the end of row 11. All right, so we are on the last row of the tier, row 12, and we are going to have to do our doubles with chain 1 spaces in between. Now, there's a little bit more going on, because since this is the last row, we also need to connect to our previous triangles here. Now, yes, I know that you haven't done them yet already, I presume, but I'm going to show you how you can connect them so that there is a seamless look. Okay, first things first, well, we did our slip stitch at the end of the last row. Okay, now turn your work. We're not going to be chaining up yet, but we will, just not yet. Give me a moment. Trust me and the process. Okay, so we are in the corner. These we do not have to worry about just yet. Okay. So for a nice clean appearance, which is what I do aim for, okay, we're actually going to slip stitch initially. And actually it would probably behoove me to take my hook out, have the yarn to the back. No, let's just do it how we did it. Okay, so going to actually slip stitch into this double crochet here. Slip stitch into there, and this is going to create a little bit of a neater look. Now, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and that is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. Then proceed by doing your doubles in each double, separated by a chain 1 space, double in the double, chain 1 space, double in the double, chain 1 space, and so on and so forth, as we have been doing so many times before. But, you know, I'm thorough, if nothing else, so I'm going to go across this entire row, just doubling and chaining, doubling and chaining. And then we're going to bridge the gap in just a moment. Got so much fabric going on here. Chain 1 and double, chain 1 and double. This should be my initial 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes, okay, and scooch the work. Then skipping over this chain 4, going into the next double with a double. There we are. Chain 1, double in the next double. 9 more for a total of 10. Chain 1 and double, chain 1 and double, and so forth. We already got 4 and 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, and one more for 10. Okay, and scooch. All right, leap over this chain 4 space, going into the next double with a double, and going across these for a total of 20, separated by, you guessed it, chain 1 spaces. Now, it's very easy to make the mistake of skipping these stitches, which I have done in the past. So make sure that you're going into each double with a double and chain 1 in between them. If I had not done it myself a number of times, I wouldn't say anything, but I have. So that's why I'm telling you now, because, yeah, it even happens to those that, you know, are teaching it. Yes, we make mistakes too. I am not a perfect spider, not by any means, nor stretch of the imagination. Okay, so just tooling my way across. Should be about 10 by now. One more, and that should be 10, I think. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, I got 11. Okay, no, that's fine. I got one more than I bargained for. So that's 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, whoop, 19, and 20. Okay. Well, we are certainly getting there. Let's continue on with the rest of it. Okay, so continuing on with row 12, again, skipping this chain 4 space, going into the next double with a double. Chain 1, 9 more, separated by chain 1 spaces. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Scoot the work. Okay, skipping over this chain 4 space, going into the last 10. Very exciting. Okay, going into that first double with a double. There. Chain 1, double in the next. That makes 2. And 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 2, 4, 7, okay, 8, 9, and okay, now this last one, this is what I recommend. On the 10th, I would suggest don't go into this stitch right here because it's sort of separated. Go into here, right where it joins, where we did our slip stitch. Go into there instead, again, for a cleaner look. See, it's like it's coming straight up and out as opposed to being disjointed. So that, hey, take it for what you will. Okay, now, so on this side, we have one of our triangles that's already done. At this point, well, this right here is the last stitch of this triangle, so we can join to an existing triangle by going into the second chain from the bottom. There we go. Making sure that you leave one of those chains because we did a chaining up of 3. That's the third, going into the second, and slip stitch into that chain, creating a really nice join. And then, well, we can cut our yarn. Let me just grab my scissors. There we go. So leave yourself a nice tail and snip. Pull out your loop, and then you can sew in this end later. Now, on the other side, this loop right here, this was the first of the triangles that we did. So let me turn my work around here. Actually, no, I was right the first time. So that this working triangle is on the right. I did cut my yarn, but I did not work in the end because at this point, what I can do now with the first triangle, I can actually finish it by doing exactly what we just did, doing a slip stitch into the second chain from the bottom. There we go. And finish this up, doing the slip stitch into there, and pull out the loop. And there, now I can work in my ends, and it looks awesome. Yes, haha. And that is how you can finish up all of your triangle segments. It's a wonderful feeling. All right, that being said, all 4 of my triangles are done. And now I can show you how you can continue on adding more of the granny stitching on top of all four sides now that we have our freshly done virus corners here, working away across to this side over here, etc., etc. So I'm going to sew in my ends, and I will see you in a bit. Alrighty, so that is going to conclude part 3 of the Virus Meets Granny Kaleidoscope blanket. That is a mouthful. And so basically for your remaining 3 corners, just repeat rows 1 through 12 and join up your corners all nice and pretty like I showed you. And then, yes, then you can continue on with more of the granny stitch, which I'm going to show you in the next part. It's really, it really is a rehash of what we've already done, but I know I'm probably going to get some requests, so I figure I'm just going to keep going with this in a more cursory fashion, just as like more of a follow-up, if you will, because I like to be thorough. And there you go. So with that being said, I want to thank all of you for joining me today. Hope you're enjoying it. And if you are, thumbs up button down below, please. I appreciate it. And big thank you to Lion Brand for sponsoring this video series. You guys are awesome. I love Pound of Love, and it shows. And as always, links, timestamps in the description box down below. And you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.